The House Ethics Panel says they will not release the report on Trump's Attorney General nominee, Matt Gaetz. Trump's looking to skirt the Senate approval process with a recess appointment. House Oversight Chair, Congressman James Comer, with me now. Mr. Chairman, would you be okay with Trump pushing Gaetz through on a recess appointment?
Yeah, I think that Gaetz deserves a chance. I've served with Gaetz. He and I came into Congress together at the same time. He's very smart, and he's been right all along about the abuses of the deep state. Donald Trump was elected with a mandate to go in and drain the swamp, and I think that the Department of Justice deserves a guy like Matt Gaetz to come in there because they've violated the public trust. They've committed many abuses of power, and we need someone to go in and disrupt it. Matt Gaetz is who Donald Trump chose. The American people chose Donald Trump, so I think Gaetz deserves a chance.
He's been paraded around the Senate, though, as if he's going to face Senate hearings. I guess it's up to Senator John Thune as to whether it's a recess appointment or not. Is that accurate?
That is accurate. I think Gaetz will do fine during a judiciary hearing. And if I were Gaetz, I would want a judiciary hearing. I know that President Trump's biggest concern is probably how long it takes the Senate, and we all know the Senate isn't known for their speed and efficiency. But at the end of the day, I think Matt Gaetz can handle himself in front of a group of senators.
Congressman, in a new Wall Street Journal op-ed, Musk and Ramaswamy revealed their plans for the new Department of Government Efficiency. They plan to use executive orders to cut down on the bureaucracy and reduce spending. Now, Mr. Chairman, a lot of people have tried to cut government spending. Most of them have not succeeded. Can Musk and Ramaswamy actually do it?
I think they can. They've got willing partners in Congress this time. We've got a Republican House and a Republican Senate. There are a lot of things that Republicans disagree on in Washington. We've seen that play out over the last 2 years, over the last decade. But one thing we all agree on is we can't continue to spend $1.5 trillion a year more than we take in. And we all agree that this government is broken in Washington, D.C. There's too much waste, fraud, abuse, and mismanagement in every agency in Washington. We need to shrink the size of government. Government has held the private sector back. We've got two titans of the private sector leading this effort, and I think that we're going to finally get it done, and I'm really excited about this new effort from the Trump administration.
You're going to create a DOGE subcommittee. What will it do?
We're going to work very closely with Elon Musk and Ramaswamy. We've had initial conversations. We are serious about reducing the size of government. There are too many fat cat federal bureaucrats here in Washington, D.C., and Stuart, they're not even going to work here. I had a bill last year called the Show Up Act to require federal employees in Washington to actually show up for work. They're still working from home because of COVID here. And, that's unacceptable. The efficiency in federal government has always been bad. It's terrible today. We don't need this many federal employees. We have too many rules and regulations that are holding the private sector back. All of this falls under the jurisdiction of the House Oversight Committee. We have jurisdiction over the federal workforce. We are going to get the chopping block going here in Washington, D.C., and we are going to whittle down the size of the federal government. We're going to work closely with this new DOGE deal that Trump's created.
Get the chopping block ready. Good stuff. Congressman, thanks very much for joining us this morning. All good stuff. Thank you very much.
Thank you.